Sexy topic alert. Did you know you need insurance to buy a home? Did you know you have a home insurance score? Here's how it affects things.
Good morning. Thank you for joining the Hatch Homes Group on our Monday market update. Welcome. We have a special guest today. We're really excited to talk about this. His name is Ricky Hayter from United Insurance Services. Welcome. Thanks for being here, Ricky.
Hey, thanks for having me, Michelle. Super happy to be here. I'm so glad you invited me.
Yeah, I mean, insurance is never like the most exciting topic, but when we first talked, you were talking about something called an insurance score. And I was like, wait, what's that?
Yeah,
It's
never
like,
heard of
I know
that.
about a credit score.
Right. It's a little bit more ambiguous than a credit score, and it really is kind of the basis for the strategy of how people should shop for insurance. And the thing that I've learned in my career is that the general public really doesn't know how to properly buy insurance.
Yeah.
And so when I teach people about their insurance score and talk about it, it's to help people understand the ways that they can minimize the impact of the rising costs to themselves when it comes to buying insurance.
Okay, so like it's not a hard, is it like a number score or is it just factors?
It's not really a number. There's just a lot of factors that go into
Oh,
how you're rated. And when you go to shop for insurance, if your insurance score on their end is high or low, they don't always just offer you the best introductory rates.
Mm.
so is it something I could see though? Is it like, can I like
It's
look
not
at
not
it?
No, it's not something that you can see, but there are a lot of things that you can do to position yourself to make sure it's always good.
Oh,
And that's the way I take my clients through the process. Is when I get a new client, we set themselves up with the strategy to be on top of the market every time it's time to shop for their insurance.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting because so when you buy a house, you have to have property insurance. You have to get, your insurance on your house. And so there's things that, like, say I bought a house last year and I had to get insurance. So I just went in and I got the best deal I could get. So it sounds like there's some things that I can do prior to that to prepare myself. Like when you're saving up a down payment, there's also things you can do to improve your insurance score, right?
That's right. So,
One of those.
and it works with your car insurance and your home together. So
Huh.
I know that when they say people see on TV that when you bundle, you get all these discounts, and
Mm.
that's not true. But it's also exaggerated to the amount of discounts that you can really feel. The benefit of doing that is that you get more stable pricing because the carriers prefer to have more lines of business. So they know if one risk or the other is out of balance with each other. So if you're preparing to buy a house, you should prepare your car insurance first so that you can just add the house in and it's a lot easier for you. And
Huh?
you'll get more favorable pricing.
What are some other things that we should do to improve the score? Like what are the
So a
things?
lot of so the factors that you can control are having good credit and a clean driving record. Those are kind of the obvious things that are
Mhm.
part of it. But when it comes to setting up your insurance, you want to look at the tenure that you have with your current company. So you don't want to switch within 2 years of signing up with a carrier.
Oh.
That's one of the big things, because when carriers offer you rates when you're a new customer to them, they're giving you introductory rates because they want your business. You need to expect to get a slight increase in your second year. And that's
Mhm.
when a lot of people go to shop, because all the commercials on TV say to save money. But what
Mhm.
that's doing is keeping you in the place to play higher rates so the companies are more profitable. It's not actually playing the game against the insurance companies to make sure the impact doesn't hurt you so bad.
Ah,
So
I
take that slight increase, stay for at least 2 years, unless there's a life change, of course. You can't
see.
help things that happen, but in a perfect system, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have higher liability limits, which you need to have when you own a house anyway, because now you have an asset and you're
Yeah.
more likely to be in a crash in your car. So if your liability is low and it's a really bad crash, whether it's somebody hit you or you hit somebody else, your asset is now at risk because you don't have enough money to heal yourself or others.
Hmm.
So you want to set it up to protect the asset that you guys are
Yeah.
helping them purchase.
Yeah.
Um,
There's some other things that you need to do.
the other things that you really need to do is kind of consider the type of carrier that you're with.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of the lower standard companies, you know, that they're on commercial trying to save you 15% or less, that they take, that are online on your own, those aren't typically higher grade companies that are going to help your score be higher.
I see.
You should consider higher deductibles when it comes to your home and your auto,
Oh.
because making a lot of smaller claims put you in a poor position for when you have to when the big one comes.
Mm.
So that kind of would be like something not to do, is like make small claims, like just make sure that you're reserving your insurance for the big things. Is
That's right.
that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. That's
So if you make a little claim, like if you got in a little or fender bender type thing and you can't, I mean, you don't want to just pay your deductible and make a claim. You want to see how you can get it fixed for as cheaply as possible or something. But when it comes to like home insurance, like how are those things, like how would you?
Well, a lot of people have the attitude or mindset that I have insurance, so they should just pay for it. Isn't this what I pay for insurance for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure you guys hear that a lot.
I mean, I've felt that myself.
I say it. I think I said it this week.
Right. I mean, and that is not, I don't say that with the tone of judgment or anything, you know, that's, of course, that's obvious. You're paying for something that you can't see or feel. It's an intangible product, but you have to have it. So it's like, well, what am I going to do? But when you own a home, there are kind of more responsibilities and expenses that come with that than renting somewhere. And insurance isn't there to just fix things or fix little things. What I advise my clients, anything less than $5,000, you want to fix yourself. And of course, we want to be sensitive. Everybody's budgets are different and situations are different. But I mean, if you can help it, small claims only hurt you when the big one comes. Because when you have a homeowner's claim, it's on your record for 5 years.
Oh.
It raises your rates and it narrows the market for you when you need to shop your insurance, because now only so many carriers will take a home policy with claims on their record.
That's so interesting. And I think we're going to do a separate video on that one.
Definitely.
Because there's a lot of factors that are going into what insurance companies are doing right now and not covering people. So
Well,
that's
right, and
video.
that's kind of a whole other conversation. But we don't even have to get into that when it comes to low dollar claims on your home insurance.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Yeah. So
So
I guess the bottom line here is, first, you really want to get with an insurance agent, because they're going to tell you like what your liability is, what's important, and like what you need to shop for, how you can bundle, what you can improve. Just like a financial advisor, they're an insurance advisor, right? Like you. And
Yeah,
your
so
tells
having
you.
a broker
I was
matters.
going to ask what would be the difference or the benefit of somebody, like, instead of just calling the good neighbor or you know, saving 15 minutes for 15% or whatever the heck, what would be the difference, you know, going and finding a broker? Because I don't think a lot of people hear about or think about finding an actual insurance broker.
So I preach about this a lot, and the way, in my experience and the truth of the matter, especially in today's hard market and rising costs with insurance, is a good agent matters more than anything else. It doesn't matter what carrier you're with. No, there is not a carrier out there that has your better interest in mind or is just waiting and wants to pay your claims. Okay, they need to make a profit. They're going to pay as little as they can, but it's my job as a good agent to make sure that I understand your risks, understand your budget, know how to strategize keeping you at the top of the market as much as I can control for you, so that when you need to shop, you're offered those better rates, and also to understand how your insurance is going to work when a claim happens. Because again, the insurance companies are going to try not to pay anything, are going to look for the exclusions, and me as a good agent, I'm the one that holds them accountable to the contract that we write that makes sure you're protected when you need it.
That's
Yeah,
so important. I mean, just like with real estate, right? But
Right.
like, I've learned
Well,
that
right. It's
you
sorry,
never
go
know
ahead.
how to make a claim. And then sometimes when you try to make the claim, you did it wrong. And so they're not going to cover you because there's some exclusion written, dug into the contract that's like, oh, well, you needed to do it this way instead. And then you don't get coverage because of the caveat, essentially.
Well, that's absolutely right. And having a good agent that before you make a claim to call and get advice is huge. It can save you so much money, because even if you go to file a claim and it's not covered, it still shows up on the record that there was damage there, even though it wasn't covered. And now it's not necessarily counted against you, but it doesn't help you in underwriting either.
Interesting.
So you want to be really careful the way that you file claims and see. And so having an agent that you know has your best interest in mind, that can go to the market and understands how to strategize these things, is the most important thing that you can do for yourself. And the reason why brokers are better is because captive agents that can only sell one company, they only have one option. So they don't know how to have these conversations. They don't have to understand this. They have one thing that they can sell you and use, and that is it. And they're also trained to not be involved in claims. So they just pass it on, and that's it. They won't give you advice. They can't, because they can't.
Yeah.
Nothing against them. That's just the model of their company.
I see. That's so interesting. Well, thank you so much for explaining all that. And I know that there's probably way more that we could go into, but we'll save that for when somebody reaches out to you. Your contact information will be below in the comments. And I guess just bottom line for everybody out there, when you purchase a home, you're going to hear your lender say you need to get an insurance binder. And the message we're trying to send here is don't just willy-nilly go out there and get the first insurance you can get. Talk to a broker, make sure that you know what you're getting into and how the insurance game is working and how it's also changing. Again, stay tuned for the next week's video too, where we'll talk more about that. But in the meantime, reach out to Ricky or any of us and we'll guide you through. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. This was a lot of fun. Talk to you later.
Thank you.